parts: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And in the Brahman realization there is Sat, there is the eternity. So one can be aware of eternity. And that, of course, can bring relief from all the temporary. The temporary is what causes so much anxiety in this world. Everything is temporary. And, when we think that even our life is temporary, that's a problem. Everything we possess is temporary. Marriage, since it's a marriage day, is also temporary, right? I'm sorry to break the hard news on a day like today, but that's my duty. Anyway, all these things temporary. So then Brahman is eternal. So that brings great relief. Therefore, Brahmanand, the happiness from Brahman, is desirable. One becomes free from temporary suffering and identification with the temporary. But it is not enough. When we are also realizing the super soul of the Lord, then the super soul is fully in knowledge of the word. So then the chit potency is also there, the knowledge potency. It is interesting in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj how it's described that Narada Muni was empowered to the point that he was able to do the same thing the super soul was doing, namely knowing what was there in the consciousness of every living being, which is I wouldn't want to have that Shakti. I mean, it's hard enough to deal with my own consciousness. What to speak with that of others? No thanks. I don't want to know what you think. Please don't even try to tell me. It's all right. Just think it by yourself. Anyway, so the Sat-Sit potency, but the Anant potency, the full Anant potency, is only there in relation to Bhagavan. Therefore we have this Madhuram, Madhuram, Madhuram verse, where it is described how the Lord is sweet. He is Madhuram, because that is related to the Anant potency, that there is relishing in relation to Krishna. It is all bringing happiness. When Krishna plays his flute, it just brings happiness. When one seeing the form of Krishna, it brings happiness. So, therefore, the sweetness, therefore Krishna is described as sweet because it brings happiness. Whereas Brahman realization just makes us detached. It makes us detached from all the temporary manifestations in this world and makes us fixed on the eternal aspect. But there's no sweetness. The happiness of Brahman, therefore, is the happiness of detachment. That happiness is compared to the water in a hoofprint of a calf, compared to an ocean of happiness, and even then it is an ever-increasing ocean. Brahman realization is static. And the realization of Krishna Prem is eternally increasing. Therefore, there's no end to it. There's no end. Love for Krishna never reaches a limit. There is no limit to bhakti in that sense. No limit to love. There's no question that now I've got 60% love, I'm making advancement, I'm approaching 80% now. Now, it's only 99% love I've got, And next year I'm going to crack it, that 1%, then I've got get the t-shirt, I mean, it's hard work, but then I'll get the t-shirt, 100% love. No, there is no such thing as having fully completed then we find that after 100% love, there is 101% love. And more. And still more. And more and more and more. It's unlimited. Unlimited. That is the nature of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna Prem is eternally increasing. Therefore, whatever Mayavad is offering in terms of realization is very poor and very limited in comparison to bhakti. Therefore, the bhaktas are not even interested. It is said that liberation came mukulitanchali, came with folded hands, and Bilva Mangala Thakur had no time. He had no time for such things. Right? Too busy in worshipping the Supreme Lord. Too busy relishing. It is said Srimad Bhagavatam is 1% for gaining knowledge and 99% for relishing. It is all about relishing. Vayam tu navitripiyama uttama sloka vikrame yatsrinvatam rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. Not sadhu, swadu. Swadu means to relish at every step. It is also said by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it is said in commenting on the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, that it is said, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. One should drink the nectar of Bhagavatam through the ears. The ears are like cups. So they are nectar cups. And the ears, as nectar cups, are meant to drink Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. So we have to drink the ras, the nectar of the Bhagavatam, and Rasamalayam until laya comes, until we faint. So then when you faint, you cannot hear the Bhagavatam anymore. Then when you regain your consciousness, you hear the Bhagavatam again until you faint again. Not from exhaustion. Right? I could give this class until you faint from exhaustion, but Vishwanath means faint in ecstasy, laya, faint in ecstasy, one of the 8 ecstatic transformations. So it is this relishing, and it is this relishing that is the power. Visaya vinivartate niraharasya denam rasa vajan rasupyasya paramdrista nivartate. It is about the paramdrista, it is about the higher taste. And that is our process, relishing. Our process is not, have you conquered the senses? Have you conquered them? Yes, sarira vijajaya dendriyateka jivale visaya sagre tarmadhyadivayati. Of all the senses are a network of death, yes, of all the senses, tongue is most voracious to control, but by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Janimai Janita, we have this nice Mahaprasadam, and that is giving us the higher taste. Yes. So in this way, it is simply by relishing that Krishna consciousness that we are strong. As long as our Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge, we are weak. Vidvamsam apikarsati. Balavan indriyan gramo vidvamsam apikarsati. That the senses are so strong that even a man of learning is struggling. Because although knowledge makes sense, and therefore in knowledge one is stronger than mere determination. I like to tell the story of Karna, and how Karna was rejected by Dronacharya to become his student, because Karna was given up by Kunti at birth. But He was a Kshatriya through and through. It was in his blood. He was directly in the lineage of the sun god, who is a Kshatriya. So this Kshatriya bhav was so strong in him that he couldn't tolerate being the son of a Sarathi, of a chariot driver. Right? That was just too much for him. Therefore, he also wanted to study under Dronacharya, and Dronacharya denied him for not being Kshatriya. So then he went to the teacher of Dronacharya, Parasuram. Now Parasuram and Kshatriyas was not like the best combination, because Parasuram used to kill them. So therefore no Kshatriyas would be accepted by Parasuram as a student. So Kanana came to Parasuram and asked to be accepted as a student. And Parasuram asked the first question: what is your family lineage? Are you a Kshatriya? And for the first time in his life, Kanana was happily saying, no, I'm not a Kshatriya. All right, then you can be accepted. And he served his guru so nicely. And he learned all the arts of fighting with heavenly weapons, celestial weapons, which are very powerful. And one day, serving his guru very much, after lunch, Guruji was taking a little nap, put his head on the lap of his disciple, and nicely dozing. Just then, this monster of an insect with a Black & Decker drill on the nose just appeared and started to just dig a hole in the leg of Kanana. Intolerable, and yet his guru was sleeping on his lap. Kanana somehow or other grit his teeth, somehow or other didn't even flex a muscle. He didn't even flex the muscle. There was no tremor, nothing. He somehow or other managed to keep his leg perfectly still. Parasuram woke up. He saw blood on the leg of his disciple, said, what happened? Black & Decker drill hole and the whole thing. Then Parasuram smelled a Kshatriya. He said, no one but a Kshatriya could have tolerated such excruciating pain. I like this. And the reason why it is because it shows that the tolerance of the Kshatriya is greater than the tolerance of the Brahmana. Now, the tolerance of the Kshatriya is all based on determination. Yeah? It's just like fixing the mind and just tolerate it. Whereas the tolerance of the Brahmana is based on knowledge. Now, in the long run, the tolerance based on knowledge is lasting longer than the tolerance based on determination. Because how to maintain determination? I'm going to be a brahmachari, I shall be a brahmachari, I will be a brahmachari, and nothing in the world can change my mind of being a brahmachari. Excuse me, Prabhu. Would you have the phone number of... yeah, I do. Blink, blink, blink. And so on. And so many other things after that. Leaving that for what it is. The point is not, this is not a brahmachari lecture. I'm just pointing out how simply a decision on based on determination is weak. Now the same thing happens to the Brahmana, right? So the same scenario. Here's the Brahmana. Excuse me, Prabhu. Right? And then phone number, blink, blink, blink. Now the Brahmana then starts to, after blink, 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 think, think, think. And the Brahmana thinks that, yes, those eyes are absolutely beautiful. Celestial blue with little golden speckles. How is it possible? This is inconceivable. I didn't know it could possibly exist. And so bright and shining, and that face so smooth, so innocent. How can it be? I never thought she must be the most noble person on earth. Blink, blink, blink. Then comes think, think, think. Yes, but it is all temporary. Yeah, is the first thought. It's all part of the temporary material energy. I mean, soon enough, she'll also be old and dilapidated, right? Yes, when, gradually the teeth are disappearing and the chin and the nose are starting to grow together, right? That will happen also to the most beautiful lady on earth. Right? So in this way, by looking at the temporary nature of that, and looking at actually that is all simply temporary material energy, what really is essential is the soul, which is eternal. So the Brahmana may be able to get beyond blink, blink, blink by think, think, think. But then she comes again, and it's not so much the golden blue eyes that get him, although they do, but it's more working together and being a good team, actually. Right? She's actually very intelligent. Think, think, think. Anyway, and relationships, they come. Now, please don't take it that my example is a sexist example. It's not. I really have other things to do. I'm just showing how it can work and what the difference is between the mentality of the Kshatriya and the mentality of the Brahmana. But the Brahmana still remains weak. He remains weak. And why? Because all the knowledge of the world is very nice, but how happy is he? When Haridas Thakur was totally happy. He's chanting, Supreme Lord, Maya comes personified. The wind is on Maya's side and lifts her veil. And he just gets a glimpse, breast. Right? And then the wind carries the smell. The smell of her body reaches his nostrils. But Haridas was just absorbed in happiness. And so it's only happiness that can ever overcome. And of course, it is said in the material world, we have male and female, but both are in the spirit of Purusha, of enjoyers. There's female represents the enjoyed, male is the enjoyer. Therefore it's said the females are also males in this time, because they're also Purushas. They also have the enjoyer mentality, right? Therefore they also are falling prey to the senses. Therefore a beautiful woman is not just, she has that power, right? Like I don't have. If I pull my skirt up, I'm not going to do it today, but all that you will see is a hairy leg, which is really not that exciting, to tell you the truth. It's kind of ugly, I'm sorry to say. That's what I have. If any lady would do the same, it has a different effect. I can raise my eyebrows, but I never made any money that way. You know? But there are models that clean up, just by an eyebrow, right? So there is a thing. There is some special power in the female body, but it's in this lecture I'm not emphasizing that men are falling prey to that female beauty. This time I'm going to emphasize that there are women themselves who are falling prey to that female beauty. Yes, I love to be loved. And all that sort of stuff. Anyway, back to business. I started off with Brahman and Paramatma, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabjati, and that is a little dry, so I think I've added some juice now. But really, unless we are fulfilled, unless we are happy, there is no such thing as ever having peace, as ever being settled. Like we can try and settle in a situation. Now enough of my wild years are over. Enough. I'm going to settle down. Right? Now I'm going to settle down. And can you settle down? You cannot settle down until you're happy. Restlessness will continue. Frustration will be there. And still dreaming of other horizons. That's the challenge also in getting married. That is a challenge. So only when we are happy, only when we're happy in Krishna consciousness, then nothing can affect us. Therefore, we need happiness in Krishna consciousness. When we look at a brahmachari, we look at how happy is he. If he's not so happy, then he doesn't get. Then time is going to wear him out. Yeah. Because maybe he's just a brahmachari because he doesn't want to get involved in all the entanglement, right? Of having babies and bills and and houses and mortgages and and extra vehicles and lots of all these kind of things, education and you name it. So maybe he's just and maybe he's not even able to get it together. Maybe he can't even get such things, right? A job, a house, and money, and all these things. Like Kavi Karnapur, 500 years ago, in his Chaitanya Chandradoy Natak, writes that in the age of Kali, most brahmacharis are brahmacharis because they're material failures. So interesting stuff. But if one is in a renounced position, one should be there really because of happiness. Then one can be renounced. So that is the key, happiness. And happiness, anant, only exists in devotional service to Krishna. That's where it exists, and nowhere else. Savai pumso paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokshade haitakiya patiyata yayatma supersudati. Only there and nowhere else. So now how to engage the restless mind and senses in devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada arranged a lot of variety, which is very good for people who have never learned to control the mind and the senses. Chanchalam himana Krishna. So with our restless minds, we can engage our restless minds and senses in service. Both men and women in this regards. We can do so. And then, yes, then we can experience happiness in Krishna consciousness. Now in the end of this lecture, I will say, and whether you want to marry or not, it really doesn't matter. It is totally irrelevant. It's no big deal, right? If you thought that being now Krishna walks out of my lecture. You saw that? Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm teasing you. Anyway. No, so it really, ashram is totally not important. It is because Varna ashram cannot give you love of God. It is not even a limb of bhakti. Varna ashram is a support structure. These are crutches. You know, when you have some injury on your leg, you need crutches. You're walking on your crutches. So, and then when you're totally recovered, what do? You throw them away. You know, hey, I don't need my crutches no more. So Varna ashram is for conditioned souls who have forgotten to love, who do no longer know how to love, and therefore they need crutches to lead them towards the mode of goodness. So here we are, you know, Pakka Brahmanas, Brahm, you know, and Brahmacharis, yeah. In Rajasthan there is a town called Rara. It's Rara. I think that's the birthplace of the Brahmacharis. the Rara Brahmacharis. Provoking the Brahmacharis today. To point out that when it is based on determination, it will not work. That only happiness, and that happiness must come from absorption in devotional service. And because we are restless, we have a great variety of devotional service, but somehow or other, in the conditioned stage, let us engage in varieties of devotional service. And now, yes, we are using the crutches of Varna ashram and wearing saffron and whatever, or in the same with the other ashrams. We're following Kula Dharma. We're following Dharma for our particular ashrams. But actually, Naham vipranachanara patir napivaishya nasudra naham varnana sagriya patir novanasti yatirva kintu projanakila paramanam punamritasvat to punamritasvat. No. Punamritasvat. I got vat there, something there. I have to start from the beginning again to do it. Gopi Bhartapada Kamalayo Dasana Dasana Das. So we are saying transcendental to all these Varna and ashrams, simply absorbed in loving devotional service. Oh when will that day be mine? In the end, I use the analogy of a court in the circus. On top in the circus tent, there's the court of Krishna Prem. Below it is the net of the mode of goodness, an intricate network of prescribed rules and regulations. Right? So, in the mode of goodness, there is prescribed rules and regulations. It gives a certain amount of happiness, but not fulfillment yet. Only on the cord of Krishna Prem is there fulfillment. And if we go on that cord of Krishna Prem without much fulfillment, then it's very narrow and we may easily fall down. But if there is love, then we cannot fall from that. Then it's as wide as a highway, and we dance on that in great ecstasy. Yes. So in this way, the difference between prem or love, the difference between knowledge, and on the lowest level, determination. And on these three levels, we can deal with the illusory energy, with love, with knowledge, or with determination. Any questions? Any comments? First, go through. Yes. Is he? No. He's a Brahmana. Brahmanas, they can teach anything. So they can teach Kshatriya. Parashurama is also Brahmana. They can teach these things. You know. Not that he becomes a Kshatriya then. He's just a teacher. Because he was not a Kshatriya. Well, that's to be seen, like the point is, it's not only about being a warrior, it is also, do you have enough commitment to Dharma? That's on the risk that he might not have enough commitment to Dharma. Therefore, Dronacharya did not accept him. Otherwise, he could certainly see he has all the physical attributes of a Kshatriya, but does he have the commitment to Dharma? And if he doesn't have that, no, then he'll become a burden on the earth. No, I will not teach him. Yeah, but being born in the wrong family means he didn't get a training in Dharma. So he didn't grow up in a dharmic family. There was no real culture. I mean, Vedic culture is very much about culture and about growing up in a proper training, in a proper Dharma. We are the Sankirtan movement. You can come from the lowest birth, but if you chant Hare Krishna, okay, you can be transformed. Can you? Okay, sí, señor.
Maharaj, I have two questions. I don't know if I can make both of them.
Primero uno.
This one is about the sweetness part of the class. You told that determination, that the tolerance in a kshatriya comes from the determination, not from the purpose, from have a big purpose, and in Brahmana come from knowledge. The tolerance of both of these. But now my question is about the happiness, no? Because I want to understand, you told that happiness is in the devotional service.
Yes.
But for Kshatriyas, be determinated and have a big purpose, in can give happiness?
It can. Knowledge. Yes, okay. Everyone gets happiness. A Sudra has happiness when he is fixing something. He's proud. I could make this. So, but all that happiness is material happiness. And material happiness is not real happiness, actually. It's only dukkha yamasasvatam. It is actually temporary, and therefore, after it's over, it leaves you only sad. Yeah? So material happiness is not real happiness. So, from the Kshatriya, with determination, one can get happiness by being successful, but that's only temporary happiness. By knowledge, one can get happiness by living more in goodness and so on, but it's still only temporary happiness. But by bhakti, by love, by service in love, there one can get lasting happiness. That's the real happiness.
Can you explain a little more about this nature of happiness, of love, of prema?
Because Krishna is amazing. The more you find out how amazing Krishna he is, the more you want to serve him. You know what I mean? It's not only, okay, I surrender, I know, I used to like my poro, but I am not doing these things anymore. right? I've given it all up because I know if you keep on doing these things, you have to take another birth, and that I don't want. Therefore, I'm renouncing all the Maya, although I love it, but I'm renouncing it out of knowledge. And I have, as a Kshatriya, some knowledge, and therefore I'm renouncing it. I shall not do it anymore. As a Brahmana, I have a lot of knowledge, and I live in knowledge, and therefore I'm looking at it more philosophically, and I'm also will not do it anymore. But it's still attractive. It is still attractive. But when I'm a bhakta who's in full love of God, then it's not attractive. So no, it's okay. I'm not attracted to these things. It's not worth it. It's not Krishna. Relishing Krishna, seeing the amazing qualities of Krishna, the amazing nature of Krishna. Look at Krishna. What is Krishna looks amazing. Look at how the Krishna deals. Look how Krishna, how playful, how kind, how noble, how merciful is Krishna. How has he made so many arrangements? Just like one day Krishna was thinking, let me give some mercy to all those conditioned souls who've given up devotional service. Then he thought, why should I give them some mercy? You know what? I give them the whole spiritual world. And he put Golok Vrindavan in the form of Vrindavan, the holy Dham, in this world. He didn't just give some mercy, he gave all the mercy. That's Krishna. See how merciful is Krishna. Therefore he is just amazing. And the more we think about it, and more we find out, the more we start to appreciate him, and the more we start to actually love him. And then we want to serve him. And then it's not, I have to surrender because I read the Bhagavad Gita and I didn't want to, but it makes sense, and I'm actually afraid, of all the karmic reaction I might be getting for all the things I've done, so maybe it's a good idea if I surrender. Although I don't, oh God, it's tough, and I mean, do I really have to surrender to 4 regulated principles? Can it be 3.5? And I don't mind surrendering to a pure devotee, but I'm not going to surrender to that guy. No. Because he's a conditioned soul. No way. Never. Nunca. No. ¿Por qué? No lo quiere. I don't want. So to really surrender can only be out of love, and otherwise surrender is just a deal. Okay, I surrender, I give up. I can see material life doesn't work. We came because we defeated in material life, not out of love for Krishna. It just didn't work. It all went wrong, it just didn't work, still not happy. Then finally we say, okay, I give up. I'll join the Hare Krishnas. Who joined out of love for Krishna? Yes. Or you're just stretching your... yeah, please. You're stretching. Oh, you. Yeah, it's a question. It was a question. Yeah. Well, it's hard. What is love? That's still the beginning. That's on the edge. That's on the edge where you're on the beach of knowledge, and you put your toe in the ocean of love. It is Jnana Misra Bhakti. It is because to do whatever is necessary for a higher purpose is like not even, they're still very philosophical. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw the Yamuna, he just jumped into it and he didn't see the point of coming out. He didn't consider, why would I come out? I mean, this is the Yamuna. The Krishna, this is connected to Krishna, this is the Yamuna. I've come to the Yamuna. I'm here. Bloop, 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 but you might drown. His servant had to pull him out. He wasn't even thinking anymore. He was just feeling. He's just feeling. I mean, is there a stage of love which just goes beyond reason? Is it just where it is just bursting from the heart? It is said love is manifesting in different stages. In the first stage, it's known as Dumayita, the smoking stage. Not the smoking stage, but like a fire that is smoking. Yes? And then it becomes the enlightened stage. It goes to different stages. And then finally it comes to the blazing stage. The intensely blazing stage. There's no more controlling it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was beyond control. It was bursting out. That's why he's been called the golden volcano. So, yeah, who took up devotional service out of pure love? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who else? Maybe this. Did the 6 Goswamis begin like that, or did they get it on the way? And those are the 6 Goswamis. And what to speak of the followers of the 6 Goswamis, and so on, and so on, and so on. So to join or to be operating on pure love is not a small thing. Okay, yeah.
Maharaj, you give the example of the Varnashram's crutch.
Crutch, eh? Varnashram, crutch, yeah.
I had a different question, but then I get fired up about this.
Uh-huh.
So as a crutch, you use it to start walking.
Yes.
So you change some form.
You use it to start loving.
Right. But then the loving, compared to the walking, you can give up the external form because you have the love, but then you still walk with the love, right?
Yeah. You dance. Every word is a song, every step is a dance. Yeah, we dance. No, but I mean, I got in trouble once over this this Varnashram crutches example. I wound up with 300 messages. I gave a lecture, 300 messages in my inbox, right? Even from Timisoara, a place I've never been, objecting against it. But therefore, I'm saying it loud and clear again. Varnashram is basically crutches. In case you didn't get it, crutches. And why am I saying it? Because it's a support system. Right? It's a support system. Now, I am using the support system. Yeah? I'm on crutches. I need my crutches. So it's not that I'm down on Varnashram, but at one point, transcendental to it all. And that's the state of love. Mm.
Yeah, because I've heard the expression, we chant Hare Krishna, we don't care about the rules.
Oh.
So that's kind of, it's not the same as what you're saying, but...
Dharmams tu saksat bhagavat pranitam. That the thing is, the rules, Krishna reveals what is devotional service. Krishna reveals what pleases him. So it's not about rules. It's not about rules. It's about what is Krishna like. It's not a rule. He likes it in a certain way. That's why we do it in a certain way. Not because it's a rule. If it was a rule, I would rebel against it because I'm Dutch. And you wouldn't want to follow it because you're Swedish. Yeah? And I'm saying, it's like, rules. It's like, We only follow rules to stay out of trouble. Like if I wouldn't get arrested, I would have no problem with stealing. I would put lots of things in my pockets in the shopping place, but I can't because there are cameras, and I get in trouble. So that's rules. But with Krishna, he reveals what he wants. That's not rules. That's love. Oh, he likes sandesh. Oh, then we'll make sandesh. Prabhupada says, Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. He says, fruit, flower, leaf, water. And then he says, and if Krishna would say, offer me flesh, then Prabhupada says, then we would kill all the animals. His eyes big. I think all the animals felt something at that moment. But Prabhupada, no, fruit, flower, leaf, some water. Krishna. What pleases Krishna? It's not a rule. It's what pleases Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai.
My other question was in this dry part of the class in the beginning there is impersonalism and nihilism philosophy. It's only one little bit. Can I ask you? Or it's not so much important. Okay, we talk. Okay. Okay, you got it. It's not so much. Okay.